Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos.
Here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Getting Your Eardrums Blown Out by Frankie Candles. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m., 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Shout out to my boy DZ. And guys, we got another amazing show for you guys tonight. We're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin as we have seen a little bit of a spill to the downside now. If you guys saw my market update from this morning, you will be somewhat updated on how I feel about this price action, but we do have some more stuff to look at, right? We got a lot of details that I want to dig into because one thing with the market updates and even going on Ben's show, one of the things there is I'm only limited to a certain amount of time, so I can't really dig in as deep as not only that as deep as I would want to, but as deep as we need to go to truly understand what's going on in these markets. So we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin, obviously trying to figure out whether this thing is going to the upside or the downside over the next few days. Obviously, we did get a little bit of a move down, and this was something we were looking at on Monday, right? And also the whole, last week we were also looking at some specific things that were making me think that we could get a little bit more of a move to the downside. So I want to touch on all of that stuff, guys. Are we going to get this to turn into a much bigger move to the downside, or are we just going to come down for one of those lackluster pullbacks before putting in a higher low and moving up to higher prices? And I will just say this. For anybody who just clicked this and wanted a yes or no answer, if I'm bullish or bearish on Bitcoin, I will say this. I am still bullish in the long term, guys, and we are going to talk about the line in the sand where I am flipping completely bearish, or should I just say more bearish in the long term. And we're going to break all that down for you guys. We're going to take a look at those key levels to the downside that we have to be keeping our eye on. if this move does continue, what are those key levels we have to watch? Not only to find out where we could find some support, but also to find out where, if certain levels are broken, what is going to happen next, right? Are we going to get more downside? Is it going to be a fake out? So on and so forth. We're going to be taking a look at all of that on tonight's show, guys. And then at the end, we will be taking a look at those altcoins. So don't spam them in chat just yet. But get them ready because we will be taking a look at them at the end of the show. Yeah, we got an awesome stream, guys. And I will say, we'll just get into the TA first. But before we get into it, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes you guys get a spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure. Oh, hang on. Hannah King said, Frankie, don't start yet. Dave's not here. You're right, Hannah. You're right. Dave is one of our now 2 official, non-official, official mods. So we got to wait for Dave, guys. Sorry. I'm just kidding. But, guys, while we're waiting for Dave, don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get, you guys get a spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure. And the funny thing about the wheel of pain and pleasure right now is that we already have a ton of giveaways to do because we missed them last week, obviously. So we will be doing them a combined giveaway on Friday's live stream this week. We're going to be giving away a whole lot of stuff. So make sure you smash that like button. Like I said, every 100 likes, you guys get a spin on the wheel of pain and pleasure. The more likes, the more spins, the more free stuff. We're going to be giving away crypto. We may be giving away a hat, maybe a membership to the Premium Frankie Candles Discord. But shout out to Chemistry Bro. Said it's always an awesome stream, Frankie. Shout out to Chem Bro. But guys, without further ado, let's jump in and say what's going on to the Candle Mafia, and then we'll go ahead and jump on into the charts and try to demystify this thing that they call Bitcoin. Let's see who we got in here tonight. Let's scroll up a little bit. Let's see. Shout out to Bison9. What is going on, bro? Thank you for being here. We got Beffed Up in the chat. What is going on, bro? What kind of car is that in your profile picture? Let me know, bro. Shout out to B-Team Crypto. As always, happy to see you. Hannah King. Some call her the princess of the Candle Mafia. What is going on, Hannah King? We're actually talking about you in the office. Just talking about how you've been so generous with gifting those memberships lately. Shout out to Hannah King. We love you, and I know the Mafia does as well. Shout out to Dion Gang. What is going on? Dion says, how deep are we going to go? I'll say this. We're going deep, baby. Anyway, shout out to Dion. Thank you for being here, guys. Don't forget, we got our wonderful mods, Captain Kirk, Rob the Crypto Snob, Crypto Billy, Captain Kirk, Tony D, D Petty Crypto. Did I say Crypto Anon? Chemistry Bro. You guys know who they are. Show them some love in chat. They make my life so much easier than it would be without them. They really do help us out a lot, not only on the YouTube channel, but in the Discord and much, much more. So shout out to them. Tyler Durden also. I don't know if he's in here right now, but shout out to Tyler. Show him some love in the chat, guys. We got Crypto Aussie. Says, it's all right, boys. I'm here. Look at all the green names in the chat right now, guys. Unbelievable. Did I say Rob the Crypto Snob? Shout out to Rob, too. I think I did. But shout out to Flat Smack in the chat. Using those emojis, guys. Let me see those emojis if you got them in the chat. But, yeah, guys, so many green names. We actually got a achievement unlocked in the YouTube studio. It says, give yourself a high five. You've got over 700 members now. And I was like, high five me. No. High five the Candle Mafia, because you guys are the ones giving these things away. It's absolutely insane. Oh, yeah, and Dave and Tanner A are official mods. Shout out to Bubba's Crypto. Good to see you again, Bubba's. Everybody throw in those emojis in the chat. I absolutely love it. Harley says, Frankie, 2024. Can't wait. Shout out to Harley. Let's get a couple more in here. We got Melissa. What is going on, Melissa? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Donato Cabrera. What is going on? We got Metabytes, Jonah Lang, RS Crypto. We got Meta Martina. What is going on? We got Dow Jones in the house. We got a little bit of stock market going on in the chat, guys. Shout out to you, man. We got M Batter in the house. What is going on? We got Jack Wick 589. And last but not least, what's going on, Wick? Good to see you, bro. Last but not least, guys, I'm waiting for Dave to pop up. Nope. Crypto Pollo, or Bitcoin Chicken, as I like to call him, was the next one to pop up. Shouting me out. I'm shouting you back out. We got Learning in the chat as well, and said, can't stay tonight, but I will rewatch later. Shout out to Hannah King, guys. Salute the Candle Mafia princess as she sails off into the sunset on her dragon. I don't know. Shout out to Hannah King, guys. But without further ado, TradFi in the house. Shout out to Dow Jones, guys. Show the Dow Jones some love in the house. or in the chat, I should say. Thank you for your TA. You give us a lot of value, Frank. You, Dustin, I appreciate that comment, man. That is the absolute sole purpose of this live stream and YouTube channel, is to provide as much free content and free education as I possibly can to help you guys make money trading crypto, whether the price is going up or down. So smash that like button if you like that. And before we jump into it, guys, I'm going to read this super chat really quick. We got Carnivore Zealot. What is going on, man? Thank you for the super chat. He said, Coinbase froze my account because of too much activity. Idaho, I don't know, I assume is what I mean. I don't know. There isn't much options. I have to wait a week. We hate them and curse them forever. Shout out to Carnivore Zealot. Yeah, that has never happened to me, and I have to say I am pretty active to be, which shouldn't be, isn't really much of a surprise, but yeah, man, I don't want to point you in the wrong direction. I would give you any information if I had experience with that, but that has never happened to me. I've actually never heard of that happening to somebody, at least someone that I know. I'm sure it has definitely happened before, but yeah, man, hopefully you can, well, at least it's just locked for a week and they didn't just like completely ban you. But shout out to you, man. Hopefully that gets fixed. But yeah, man, I wish I could help you out, but I don't want to give you bad information. If I had experience, I would try to give you a tip or something. But yeah, I would just wait for to see when the week is over and see if you can get access back. That is very interesting. But guys, with all that being said, I look forward to your streams every day. Shout out to H. Kamona. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but shout out to you. I appreciate that a lot. Underground Only said, I need my hat. Well, you're going to have a chance on Friday. Maybe multiple chances, Underground. But, guys, without further ado, we got Jack of all trades in the house. And Dave Digital, thank God. Dave Digital is here, guys. Now we can go ahead and start the live stream. Without further ado, not before we get into it, but without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump right on in to the charts. Here we go. So, guys, we got a lot to talk about because as you guys know, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a little bit of a recap of what was happening on Monday, kind of the things we were looking at Monday, because as you guys know, I was a little bit torn, right? I've been more bearish in the short term for the most part, and then at the end of last week and even on Monday, it's been a little bit weird. We've been getting some mixed signals, and as you guys know, we were looking at the money flow in the 4-hour, which was what was making me lean bearish in the short term, saying there's much more likely that we would get a move down before getting our next big move up, on top of some things on the higher time frames. But then we have the weekly money flow crossover into the green, the daily green dot. But fortunately, over the 4th of July, or yesterday, it feels like it was the weekend, but over yesterday, we kind of got some things cleared up. We got some bullish signals invalidated. We got some bearish signals showing their face. We got a little bit more clarity than we had on the previous live stream. So I want to break that down with you guys and then just, again, show you guys. Oh, God. Dave, everybody's pissed at Dave. Dave, you're late. WTF. Shout out to RS Crypto. Dave, we did wait for you to start the show, though. I will say that. But, guys, again, I want to cover what we were looking at and kind of how it played out. And I want to talk to you about how is the 4-hour money flow still in play here? Are we going to see a bigger move down? We're going to break it all down right now. So I'm going to go ahead and hide that TA first off. And, guys, we had we had this bull pennant, right? And now this was kind of our main bullish case here, was that bull pennant on the higher time frames. We're on the 10-hour right now. Let me go ahead and let me go to the fresh chart here. Shout out to the premium Discord. But let me just go ahead and hide all this TA. Really quickly. I'm just going to hide it. I don't want to delete it all because I do want to save it for later. But I do just want to use this kind of clean chart to kind of show you guys what we're talking about here, right? So we did have this, somewhat of a bullish pennant here. Obviously, a bullish continuation pattern. If you're not familiar with if you're not familiar with what a bullish pennant is, basically it's a bullish continuation pattern. You will see a big move to the upside, coil up within this pattern, and then the closer you get to the end of the pattern, the more likely the breakout. We did get that breakout yesterday, which I want to talk about. This was not yesterday. This was on Monday. We got that breakout. This is where the bullish signals were starting to cloud the waters. But I do want to talk about this move, and then obviously this move to the downside. We are now, again, everybody, always, and here's the thing. These bull pennants do break up more than they break down. That's why it's a bullish continuation pattern, because when you see them, price is more likely to continue up than not. But the thing here is, guys, they're not guaranteed to break to the upside, right? Like even here, we got a fake out and then a reversal, right? So you always want to keep that in mind with the patterns. I do look at patterns. I don't trade them solely based off the pattern, obviously, but you always got to be ready for these to potentially fake you out, right? And that's exactly what happened, at least as of right now. We are now still within that bullish pattern. So I want to talk about that a little bit more. But coming up to the higher time frames, guys, I want to start off here on the weekly. Now, again, kind of the mixed signals that we had last week, just recapping what happened last week and Monday. Money flow crossover into the green on the weekly. This is a very, very bullish sign, in the long term, right? This is likely not going to moon us up to 100K tomorrow. However, in the grand scheme of things, when we see these money flow crossovers into the green on a high time frame like the weekly, specifically the weekly, we do wind up seeing, it basically confirms that the bottom is in, and we are likely either going to continue up more locally or potentially just kind of range around here before continuing to the upside. So, and yeah. Bear with me, guys. Our AC is like we had the AC guy come, and he was like, yeah, it looks great. There's nothing wrong with it. And I'm telling you right now, there is definitely something wrong with it because it is 1,000 degrees in here. So please don't mind my shiny skin. It is very hot in here. But those weekly money flow crossovers are typically a very big deal. Even if you get a fake out back into the red, typically once that money flow crosses into the green, bottom's likely in. And then you kind of start your accumulation phase before starting the next parabolic bull run. So this is going to be a very bullish signal. But again, it's on the weekly, so it's going to take some time to play out. So coming on down here. Now, again, that was one of the main bullish cases, or just one of the main bullish things that were popping up on the charts on Monday. We got the weekly money flow crossover. On top of that, guys, we did have the daily green dot printing with our money flow coming to the upside. Now, this, along with the bullish pennant, was a very, very cloudy market to read because that would be very, very bullish, right? That's like, oh my God, we got the green dot on the daily, money flow coming up, weekly money flow is now in the green, and that's pretty bullish, right? However, if you come down to the medium hourly time frames, one of the things that we were watching very, very closely was the 4-hour money flow just consistently coming to the downside, and you can see that is still the case. And that is definitely more of a bearish sign than anything. And then you could also kind of consider this. If you look here, you technically, not the strongest, but you do technically have higher highs on your price. I don't know if you're going to get it to the wicks. Not really. It depends on if you pull it to the wicks, but you do have some kind of bearish divergence there. You definitely have a bearish divergence confirmed right here. And a lot of times, guys, I talked about this on the BitBoy Crypto morning stream. A lot of times, guys, when you get those higher highs and on your price action and the lower highs on your momentum waves into a key level of resistance, which this was, and I will touch on why in a second, a lot of times when you get that confirmed bearish divergence with money flow coming out, it can mark a significant top. So is this a significant top? Are we going to continue lower, or are we just going to break right back out of here and continue to the upside? I'm going to break it all down. But this was the main, one of the main bearish cases, right? Because we had the money flow coming out on the 4-hour. And another thing that kind of correlates with that, guys, is we had the VWAP here on the 2-day coming to the downside, looking to print a red dot here very, very soon. And again, when you see this money flow coming out, again, with that confirmed bearish divergence, this was the main thing that was making me lean more bearish in the short term. And then, again, obviously on Monday, I was talking about how I'm still leaning a little bit bearish, but starting to creep back towards neutral, just because this is a very hard thing to read when you have a situation like that. You got a bunch of bullish stuff, some bearish stuff. It gets really hard to read. But again, I will say, the money flow very rarely lies, and this has kind of been the theme of the live streams recently, is the money flow never lies, because we're at a breaking point here, or a big decision point, where it's like, are we going to get that crossover and get a bigger breakdown out of this range, come to some lower prices? I will say I would much prefer that to load up some fresh longs and maybe pick up some more cheap spot crypto, but money flow coming out. I am still watching this, guys. It is continuing to come out, and the fact that this breakout did fail could kind of add insult to injury here for a bigger move to the downside. Now, obviously, we are looking at this as a volume profile, and you can see here there's kind of two main ranges I'm looking at. I'm looking at this range as well as this more local range. I'm pulling it a little closer to these candles. But what happened here, right? I'm going to get rid of this bull pennant. I think we all kind of know that was a bull pennant, but what happened? Simply, based off the volume profiles, guys, we actually wound up getting exactly what you would think, right? Where is it? Let's come down to a lower time frame. So what do we have? We have our local range here. We're bing-bonging around from the value area high to the value area low, high, low, high, low, high, low, right? And we deviated out of that volume profile or value area. We wound up putting in some bearish divergences here on some lower time frames, wound up getting a rejection all the way back down to the value area high. We broke back into the value area, played around with the value area high, and then right here, you can see we broke down, bearishly retested. This is where you're starting to think, hey, if we get stuck underneath this value area high, it's going to be more likely than not that we will come at least to the POC, and if we lose that POC, we may be able to get a move down to the value area low of the range. And that's basically what happened, right? And let me go ahead and look at this other range that I've been watching, which is basically the same range, just pulled from, just including a few more candles back here. And you can see very, very similar thing here, right? So we are now back within our volume profile. Now, again, you don't want to just look at the volume profile. If you look at your bull pennant here, let me pull that back up, you're kind of bouncing off the lows of your bull pennant, right? So we're kind of coiling up in here still. But again, money flow on the 4-hour is coming out, right? And we kind of compared this to a time in the past, right? We were comparing this to right back here where we kind of bing-bonged around. We were bing-bonging around with our money flow. It was generally coming to the downside, but then, boom, we had this random short squeeze come in out of nowhere. We came back into the green, which isn't very common, right? Typically, when that money flow crosses over on the 4-hour, it is a decisive crossover to the downside, right? But we got to be ready for those fake outs, and that was kind of what we were doing on Monday and the end of last week. But again, we're back, we're accepted back into this value area now, guys. And again, we've broken below the value area high. We've rejected there, broken the POC. We've even potentially bearishly retested here. We could potentially expect a move back down to the value area low, coming in right now at about 30,063, right? Obviously, this is going to vary a few dollars depending on what exchange you're looking at or even where you draw the line, right? Like I could move it a little closer. Now it's 30,070. But this is going to be a big area of support to be watching, guys, because if we lose this value area low, there's a few reasons this is an important level. And I did talk about this on the BitBoy Crypto morning stream. Number one, $30,070. This is a big level I'm watching. Other than that, here's some more local levels I will be watching. We will be watching this wick down here at about 29,500. Another very key level. As you guys know, this is one of those more macro levels that I've been looking at for a potential bigger move to the downside to find some support, get some bullish confirmations, and then get a bigger move up. And by bigger move, I mean another higher high on the macro, right? If we zoom out, looking for price, we were looking for price to potentially come back down here, play around, look for bullish confirmations, and then get a higher high, potentially targeting $32,000 to $33,000. Now, if we wind up coming down and losing this value area low, obviously that next level of support I will be watching is 29,500. What happens if we start breaking down out of there? Well, let's talk about, and I also do want to add this value area low I am taking into consideration as well. So I have been drawing this level of support as somewhat of a range, right? So we have this blue box coming between $30,080 and about $29,955. This is a major level of support. If we wind up losing this level, this is where I'm expecting a move down to 29,500. Now, if we wind up losing this level, honestly, once we start losing this value area low, we may be in for a bigger move to the downside, and let me explain why. If we take a look at this previous range that we were trading in for from almost forever ago, you'll see that not only do we have the value area high there, but we also have this wick that came all the way down and tapped that value area high. Now, this could be considered a bullish thing, potentially, right? We broke out of the value area high. We bing-bonged around. We had a wick come back test that value area high. And then we continued to the upside, but we failed to break out, and now we're just back at the bottom of this range. But speaking of just talking about the kind of support here, if we get below this value area low, I do think there's a good chance we come back down to this level at about 29,500. Excuse me. Now, if we lose this level at 29,500, this is really where I am expecting a bigger move down for Bitcoin, guys, because if we get accepted back into this area of balance, or just, simply put, I don't want to confuse people when I say area of balance versus range versus value area. When I say value area or I say area of balance, I am simply referring to the range. If we break below this value area high, say price breaks down, we get a little bounce, we break down, and we get stuck underneath this value area high, very likely that we will get accepted into this range and potentially open up the door for a bigger move down for Bitcoin, targeting closer to about $26,860. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get there tomorrow or the next day, but I'm just saying this $29,500 level is going to be very, very, very important. Again, just because if we lose it, we could use the laws of the volume profile to try to predict where price will go next. Now, I was talking about this on the BitBoy Crypto stream, or no, I talked about this in my market update. One thing to realize here, again, is if we lose that value area low, probably going to be a quick move down to 29.5, just like we saw with this wick, because we do have somewhat of a decent volume gap right here, which does cause price to move down very quickly or up very quickly, depending on which way you're looking at it. But if you get that move down and you do not bounce off that level, we do have a high volume node here, a high volume node here that is at 28.8, which is a very interesting level as well, which I'll get into in a second, and 29.290, another very, very big level to watch, and I'll show you again why in a second. But other than that, we do have somewhat of a fall off in volume all the way down to about 28,600. This is going to be another level I am looking at. I don't want to confuse everybody with the volume profiles, so I'm going to break this down more simply. We are looking at two major scenarios, or not two major time frames. We're looking at the local range and we're looking at the macro range, right? The local range is right here, marked out by the volume profile, between about 30,763 and about $29,957. These are our local levels. Obviously, that point of control likely to give you some turbulence at about 30,160, and the top of the blue box right here at 30,066 is going to be another level to watch as well. But this is our local levels, right? So as long as we ping-pong around, these levels will likely be respected. However, once you lose the value area low and we start coming down to lower prices, I want you guys separate the short term and the long term. This is extremely important. These are the local levels. These are the levels that I am looking for scalp trades on, right? Like shorter term day trades, not long-term trades. So these are our local levels. Again, one last time. Key resistance, 30,748. Key support, essentially $29,965. This is our range. If we break that range low, likely coming down to 29.5. Now, I am going to go ahead and hide all of this TA, or it's not really that much. I'm just going to hide it all, and I'm just going to get rid of this manually, right? If we break that 29,500, I am shifting my focus to my macro levels, which is going to be, is this Bitstamp? Yes, this is Bitstamp. Right over here. There we go. I will be shifting my focus to the macro levels. What are the macro levels? They are going to be essentially the value area high, the value area from May of 2022. For anybody who is new on this live stream right now, I've gotten these levels from this range in May of 2022. I pulled the volume profile, I took the value area high, the POC, and the value area low, and I extrapolated that information all the way over here. And as you can see, these levels are respected just like they were in May. So, what happened here? We came up to the value area high. We put in that 4-hour bearish divergence with money flow coming out. 4-hour bearish divergence with money flow coming out. And we kind of just bing-bonged around. We came back up for a second tap of that value area high, and we rejected the value area high. What did we do? We came right down to the POC, as expected. As expected. You reject the value area high, you come right down to the POC. Again, if we lose that POC, this POC is coincidentally pretty in line with our value area low of the local range. So I think a lot of people get confused because I show ranges within ranges within ranges, and it's not as complicated as it seems, right? So this value area low is in line almost not perfectly, but we are very close to this POC. So essentially, just like on a local level, if we lose this value area low, I'd expect a bigger move down. Same thing goes if you're just looking at the macro levels, right? Because if we lose this POC, which is very close to the value area low, if we decisively lose this level, we're expecting lower prices. Where specifically are we looking? Is Creighton here today, guys? Creighton C. Is Creighton C here? We got Gary C. What's going on? Gary C says, dump it. Let's go. Let's see. Well, Creighton C, if he was here, or if he is here, I know he's going to say, when you lose that POC, you go right to the value area low. This is where we would be looking, guys. The previous value area low from May of 2022 is coming in at 28.7-ish K. This blue box is going to be key support. I know it's a big range. 29,290. If we're able, as long as we're able to hold above 29,290, the top of this blue box, if we can maintain support above here, I do think we can continue to the upside in the medium term. Even if we lose that level and we come down to the value area low, if we're able to hold that value area low, meaning the macro value area low at 28.7K, not the local value area low here at $30,060, like we were just showing, right? Not this value area low, the macro value area low. Local value area low, macro value area low. If we lose this value area low, I am just expecting a move to lower prices, not necessarily a dump down to zero. If we lose the macro value area low, this is where I start to get a little bit more worried about Bitcoin, but still not flipping bearish in the long term. So even if we wind up getting a big correction here, guys, if this dump is going to continue and we get a bigger move, first major level I'd be looking at is $29,500 right here at this wick. If we lose that, and again, in the medium term, right? Like I would expect turbulence at that $29,500 level. But looking at the macro volume profile, even if we bing bong back up to the POC, I am expecting to eventually get back down to that value area low at $29.7 thousand. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. Simply put, I will show you guys how to pull this up on your chart. Now, this is the Bitstamp chart if you want to try to get the exact levels. It will vary slightly depending on what time frame you're looking at, but all I did was come back here to May of 2022 during this area consolidation. I pulled the volume profile, and I just put horizontal lines on the low, the POC, and the high. And then I extrapolated that information to our current price action, and obviously it gets respected once again. So when in doubt, zoom out. I'm looking at this macro volume profile. If we lose the POC, aka the local value area low at $30,060, I will expect a bigger move down to eventually the blue box between 29,290 and 28.7K. I've been saying 28.8K. Again, it depends on what exchange you're looking at, but this is essentially your very, very key level of support, right? Once you lose that value area low, you're essentially getting extremely close to getting, or you're in danger, right? I talked about this in the market update because I'm looking at this macro range and then this current range, right? Or more current range. Let me see where this goes if I bring this to current prices. It comes up a bit. But I'm going to be looking at these levels, right? Because if we come down here, this is why I'd be looking for a bounce off the top of this blue box. It's because it is our previous value area high from back here, and it would make sense to go test that level. However, once you start losing this blue box, I don't mind a wick down to the value area low. That would actually be healthy in my opinion. But if we really start getting stuck below this level, right, we get stuck below that 29,290 level. 29,290 level. This is where I would expect a bigger move down for Bitcoin. So that is really the level you don't want to lose. 29,290. I don't mind losing it, but I want a quick recovery, right? I don't care if we come down here, bounce, bounce, bounce. Maybe you put in a bull div by coming down and tapping that value area low. But if you start losing this blue box and you bounce off the value area low and you can't get back above that blue box, look at, like, you're essentially just testing that value area high. And once you get below that value area high and you can't break back above it, you're likely to come down to the POC, and that is living at $26,900 right now. So very, very key support here, guys. I would not mind a bigger move down. But if we get down there, I would really, really want to hold it. And if we don't, I would be looking down to lower prices. But Frankie Candles, you said if you lose this blue box, you're expecting more downside for Bitcoin, but you're not flipping bearish long term. That is true. That is very, very true. So let me show you guys kind of where I would flip fully bearish. Not fully bearish, but more bearish in the long term. If we break below, let's say we break below that value area high, we get that bigger move down, we lose the value area low, we break into this range. Guys, I actually wouldn't even really care if we break below the blue box, come down to the POC, and even the value area low. Now, this is really where I start to get really nervous, right? Like, now I'm starting to think, like, okay, we start losing this value area low decisively. that's where we could start to, I would essentially think that maybe this long-term bullish trend, right, meaning from the bottom all the way up to 31K, maybe the trend might be over. If we break this low down here closer to about 25,000, I guess this wick is 24,750, about 25K. We start losing 25K here decisively. That is where we start to flip a little bit more bearish, right? So even if we came down here, maybe this is a range. Maybe this is our new range, right, guys? But if we come all the way down here and we start bing-bonging around at the lows here, I will look for bullish confirmations for it, because even if we come all the way back down here, I am still not I'm not flipping bearish in the long term until we break these lows, right? Once we break these lows, that's where maybe your downtrend begins and we come back down to lower prices. But we're not there yet. So I'm not even going to go ahead and harp on those super lower prices. But the local levels right now, guys, local levels on Bitcoin, POC right now, POC, $30,163. You lose that decisively, you're likely going to come down to the top of your blue box at 29,290. Again, if you lose that, value area low at $28,675 is in the cards. And again, going to kind of be where we would like to bounce if we're going to pump in the long term, or in the short term, if we're going to get a quick dip down and then break up sooner than later. That's kind of the level we want to hold. If we are going to see a longer term pullback here, and again, that's not impossible. We do have that 2-day red dot kind of looming here, right? 2-day red dot looming. We also have the 3-day and the 4-day VWAPs starting to cool off. If you guys saw the market update, you will be familiar with this. And don't forget, bearish divergence on the 2-day 2-day bearish divergence is still in play here. So that is likely to bring us lower. But just naturally looking at this price action, guys, zoomed out here on something like the 12-hour, or not even. Let's go to the day 2-day again. Actually, maybe daily. Yeah, what I would expect here, guys, just looking at the volume profiles, is come up, value area high, you reject, you come to the POC, back to the low. That's where you could potentially get a move back up to your POC, back up to the high, and then this is where you would look for shorts, back to the POC, back to the low, right? So just looking at this, not only do you have a potential, let's talk about the daily for a second, right? Because that was our bullish case here kind of on Monday, was, hey, money flow coming up on the daily, green dot printing on the daily. If we're going to push up, guys, this is probably no better time than now. And we did. We did wind up pushing up on Monday, but we got rejected from the value area high. And what happened? That daily green dot basically got invalidated. I guess it was sticking around for a little bit until Tuesday. But then Wednesday, we just wound up printing another red dot, which wound up giving us, guys, a daily bearish divergence into a key level of resistance, which was our macro value area high. This is more bearish than bullish. On top of that, money flow is continuing back out. Now, again, I don't want to get it twisted. I am not like mega bearish, right? Because we could easily see this money flow kind of just put in a higher low. And, in hindsight, you'll be like, okay, well, this was just generally coming to the upside. But if we confirm this red dot, guys, it would be a technical bearish divergence on the daily time frame at a key level of resistance. And if we're going to see that play out, the next likely place for price to go essentially is that value area low. It doesn't mean you can't bounce off any of these other levels, but it just means from a simple standpoint, just looking at the volume profiles, I would expect bear div at the value area high. I would expect to come back down to the low. So this is definitely in the cards. Again, $28,665 is definitely in the cards. Now, on top of that, obviously, if you come down to some of these other higher time frames, such as the 16-hour, we now have a confirmed bearish divergence on the 16-hour. Gonna assist potentially in a move to the downside. Now, the daily is kind of more the breaking news, bearish divergence on the daily. But again, the one thing I would keep in mind here, guys, is money flow. We're looking at the 4-hour money flow coming out, right? That would indicate short-term downward movement. The daily money flow is generally coming up, even though it's locally coming out here. It is generally over time creeping to the upside. That indicates a longer-term bullish trend is likely to continue. So you have to keep this in mind. So just because there's a daily bear dip does not mean that it's absolutely going to nuke to zero. It's definitely powerful enough to bring us down a little bit more, but money flow, remember, money flow is still generally coming up. And then even if you look at the 16-hour, we just got that money flow crossover into the green. It's looking healthy. 12-hour money flow crossover into the green, looking healthy, right? Even our 2-day 2-day money flows cross over into the green, right? So this indicates a longer-term trend. So until we see these higher daily time frames start to roll over and get the money flow coming out aggressively, that's where I would start to worry. But just for now, I would say I am more medium-term bearish, meaning this 4-hour money flow could cross over into the red and give us a bigger move down, potentially to the value area low or beyond. But as long as the higher time frame money flow continues up, I will remain bullish, right? So it's probably not going to be until we actually break this low that all that money flow starts coming out and all that good stuff anyway. So my general sentiment here, guys, is any move to the downside, anytime we get a move down, even if we come down here, I am looking at that as a potential higher low on the higher time frames, right? Because when we started this bullish trend, I'm going to turn on Lux Algo real quick so we can take a look at the market structure labeling. But this is, right, you got to change a character, right? Now you're in a bullish trend, right? You come up, you have your low, your high, your higher low. Now you're in a bullish market structure, right? Then you have another higher high, a break of structure. You put in another higher high, and then another higher low, and then you get another technical higher high. This one's a little sketchy because it was close. But once you wind up breaking below this low here, that is, again, why I would be flipping bearish, because you are essentially flipping bearish on the higher time frames, right? Once you break these lows here, that is going to wind up flipping us a little bit more bearish in the long term. So until that happens, and again, that's all the way down here at about $24,800. That's pretty far away, right? So there's, we're probably not going to do this tomorrow or the next day if it winds up happening. But again, it's kind of in line with the money flow, right? The money flow in the higher time frames being in the green is, again, like it's gonna feel like Bitcoin's going to zero, guys. If we get a move down to 28.7K, it's gonna feel like Bitcoin's nuking, and all the bears are gonna be like, "Told you, lower lows are incoming. Lower lows are incoming." That is just noise, guys. That is just noise. Don't listen to everybody, all the bears screaming, "I told you so." All the bulls saying, "I told you so." Ignore these people. They are emotional. They do not know. You could tell when they're being emotional, right? "I told you lower lows were coming in," and it's like, zoom out, guys. We had a 5% dump. It does not mean lower lows are incoming. It doesn't mean they're not, but it definitely doesn't mean they are, right? So if we get that move down, I am treating every move to the downside until the higher time frame money flow starts coming back out. I will be treating any moves to the downside as potential higher lows for long entries into a bigger move to the upside, especially with the money flow crossover on the weekly. That would definitely indicate more movement to the upside in the long term. But with the 4-hour money flow coming out, with the daily bear div locally on Market Cypher B, this would be indicative of some more medium-term downside, right? But again, until we break down all the way to here, I am not flipping bearish. But that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin, guys. Those are basically the key levels I'm looking at. And again, not only the key levels, but the context behind them so we can know what to expect. Once we come up to them, we can expect, hey, if we break this level, that's not good, right? Like, not all levels of support are created equal. Some levels are less important than others. And what makes certain levels important, at least due to, with my techniques and what I look at in TA, what makes a level more important than another is the context of where the level came from. Like, why are you looking at this level of support? Is it because you just saw that we rejected in the past? Or do you know it's the value area high of a specific range? Is it a golden pocket? And the nice thing about the volume profiles is that I know with that value area high, I can kind of assume that if we break below that level, not only is that going to be a key level of support, but if we lose it, I now have insight into where Bitcoin might go next, because I know once you reject that value area high, you're likely to go to the POC, and you could simply just say, hey, where's the POC? It's right down here at 26,860. So that's what we're looking at, guys. Again, you could have multiple volume profiles on your chart at one time. And it helps you predict moves, right? Like, again, if you break this level, you know what's likely to happen because it's a value area high. You know you're likely going to go to the POC eventually, which is coming in at, again, 26,900. But we also have another volume profile up here. So we know that if we break this POC, we know that we're likely to go to the value area low. Where is that? Right here. This is how we predict the moves in the market, guys. This is really the sauce. We're giving the sauce, baby. We're giving it away, and we're giving it away for free. But that is basically what I'm looking at, guys. Again, like, just keep your eye on this macro volume profile, because, again, even if you're not looking at this volume profile, I'll hide this. Even if you're not looking at this, even if you don't have any of these other levels, maybe you weren't able to find these levels like I did. If you're just looking at the volume profile, you will still be able to predict a potential break of this level and a potential visit of this level But the thing you'll just be missing is where that turbulence is going to come in the meantime, right? So you didn't have that level down here with that blue box. So maybe you get a little bit of turbulence, but more likely than not, even if it does give you turbulence, you're likely to come to the value area low. So you don't even need all these other intricate levels if you're just looking at the volume profiles. You just might miss where those little local bounces are going to happen, but you're still likely going to end up where the volume profile typically brings you, which is the value area low in this case. So there you go, guys. That is what we are looking. That's what we're looking at for Bitcoin. Again, daily bear div. If this confirms, it could definitely give us more downside. And now you guys have the key levels. And again, as well as the context behind these levels and where we got them and what price will likely do if those levels are broken. No guarantees, but more often than not, this does wind up playing out. RH says, Frank the Fortune Teller. Let's go. Frankie the Fortune Teller. Let's go. Shout out to you, RH. Some people say, hey, this guy's got a crystal ball. And I say, shh, they're illegal, guys. Don't rat me out. But anyway, guys, with all that being said, let's go ahead and how long have we been going for here? How long have we been going for? I didn't even crack the Aztec and Cactus Small Sorter, guys. It feels like Monday. I'm not going to lie. Monday streams are usually lit because there's a lot to talk about. And yesterday I was obviously took some time off of at least the YouTube channel to hang out with Mrs. Candles for 4th of July day. I don't know why I was going to say. I don't know why I said day. But yeah, I took some time off to hang out with Mrs. Candles on the 4th of July. Oh, Dave Digital says, remember that Soul Trade? Still going, baby. Oh, yeah, I do remember that, Dave. We'll check on that during the alts. Frankie, can you look at the 3-day on CFX, please? I don't do this usually, but I don't know why. There you go. I will take a look at this in a second. But, guys, with that being said, that's what we're looking at on Bitcoin. I will, as price action moves throughout the stream, before we sign off, I'll give you guys a little bit of an update. But actually, let's just do this real quick. Before I move on to Ethereum, guys, in the short term, right, that's medium and long term. This is where I think Bitcoin's going over the next few days. But what about the immediate short term? Like, what about right now? Is Bitcoin more likely to get a move up or a move down, like, in the next few hours, like over the rest of the night? I will say this. VWAP coming up on your 4-hour, right? Money flow coming down, right? So that is letting us know this may continue down at the value area low. However, VWAP may give us we got to move down here, right? Like, look at this. We came out to the high. We got all purple candles here. Purple, 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 purple. Just puking those purple candles. It wouldn't be unlikely, even if I wasn't looking at Market Cipher B. If Market Cipher B was gone, I'd say, hey, we hit support. We got a big move down. Maybe it's time to retrace, right? Maybe it's time to get a little bit of a retracement. What do I mean by retracement? Think of a retracement as dropping a ball from like a 3-story, like you're standing on a roof and you have a bouncy ball and you drop the bouncy ball, right? The bouncy ball is going to go down, it's going to bounce, but it's not going to come all the way back up to where you dropped it from, right? It's probably going to bounce about halfway up. I don't know if that's true or not, but you know, it's not going to bounce all the way up, that's for sure, unless you have some kind of crazy super ball. But think of the retracements as a bounce. It's never going to go up. It's not usually going to, well, a bouncy ball will never, but like this is not usually going to go up as high, right? If it is an actual retracement, think of it as dropping a ball off a cliff or off a roof. You drop it, it hits the floor, aka support, and it gets a bounce. But it's not going to bounce all the way up. It's probably going to bounce about halfway up. So how do we know how high the ball is going to bounce, aka Bitcoin? If it is a true retracement, and this money flow is indeed correct and going to cross over into the red and continue the trend to the downside, which is not guaranteed, but more likely than not. If that is the case, not financial advice, if that is the case, we can expect a retracement to come in, and where would we like it to come? Or where would it likely go to? Well, we can use the Fibonacci retracement tool to grab from our high to the low of that move, and we can measure out. We know that Bitcoin likes to put in its retracements at the golden pocket and 786. This is what I look at. Sometimes I pull up the 382. Right, you can look at the 382 as well. I don't look at it as often as I do the golden pocket and the 786. However, the level is there. But for the sake of this argument, I'm just going to use the golden pocket and 786. This is where we could expect that retracement to possibly come to, right? Come up, starts pumping again. We get a little bit of a retracement into the golden pocket, 786. And then if we can get bearish confirmations here and you missed your short entry from the absolute top, which we did give in the premium Discord, but if you missed this entry, it's actually funny. In the premium Discord, I put out a setup to short here, right? And then if you miss your entry, I said, hey, guys, if you miss your entry, this is where I'd be looking to enter. And I did this exact same strategy, right? This exact same rigmarole. I don't know if that's a real word. The exact same thing, but just obviously not on the same candles because it was back here. But I said, hey, if you missed your initial short entry, maybe wait for a retracement. We did this exact thing. Price retraced right up to where we thought it would, and people were able to get back into that trade without entering at the worst time ever. They waited for the bounce, and they got a nice short entry, and then we came down more, right? And they were able to profit off that move. So if we get a bounce here, which I do not think in the most, with the 4-hour green dot, your 3-hour green dot's printing, your 4-hour green dot is looking to print very soon. 2-hour green dot did just confirm. I don't think it's impossible to get a little bit of a retracement here. It looks like it actually may be starting already with these little green candles. No guarantees you get the retracement, but if we do, 4-hour green dot is what I would look for. If we print that 4-hour green dot, I would expect a retracement potentially up into that golden pocket 786. And then, again, everyone's going to be like, I told you the pennant's going to break out again. But we know because of money flow that it's likely just a retracement. Again, this money flow is like really doesn't want to cross over, but it looks like it's going to. So that is kind of what I would look for in the absolute, more immediate short term. I would look for some potential bounces here. But again, in the medium over the next few days, what I just spoke about earlier is kind of what I would expect. Let's go ahead and see. Oh, God, somebody said the mods got some cojones. I don't know what that's in reference to, but shout out to the CandleMafia guys. That's what we're looking at on Bitcoin. I will look at CFX again just real quick. But with that being said, guys, go ahead and throw your altcoins in the chat. Rob the Crypto Snob will go ahead and count up the alts and let us know which ones we're looking at tonight. And then I'll look at them. Great chat, Mafia. The mods rock. Frankie is the TA of the king of TA. Shout out to Zeus Cash, who is the god of cash. Shout out to Zeus. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for being here. Frankie, can you speak on becoming a funded trader? Not really. Not to be 100% honest with you. I'm not that experienced with funded accounts, and I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction, right? I'm not someone who's just going to come on my YouTube channel and pretend because I have a lot of, a bunch of subscribers, a lot to me at least, when you compare it to someone like Ben, my subscribers are not that much. But, it's not just because I have a YouTube channel. I'm not going to pretend to sit here and pretend to be an expert on something I'm not an expert on. That's part of this channel. Part of the point of this channel, guys, is that I want to be 100% real with you guys, right? Like, I'm not going to come up here and be like, guys, earnings reports came out, unless I knew exactly what I was talking about, right? Like, I will say that if I know what I'm talking about. But if someone asks me a question, I'll always try to answer it to the best of my ability. But like for this question here, can you speak on funded accounts? I don't feel comfortable speaking on funded. I could tell you what I know about them, but I really don't have much experience with funded accounts. So it's not my thing. So I don't want to give you bad information. So I'm just probably not the best person to answer that question. And I would rather take that, not L, but I'd rather just be upfront and pretend that, not pretend like I know everything, and then hopefully not give you bad information, right? So unfortunately, I don't want to give you bad information. Probably not the best person to ask. But yeah, there you go. Hopefully you can appreciate the transparency. Let's see. Got a new one for you. Can you look at MAV? Yeah, we can try and take a look at MAV. I'll write that one down. Rob, you don't have to add that to the list. I'll just write that down. MAV. There we go. Wrote it on the Benji, baby. Got it on the Benji. Shout out to Bitcoin Chicken. Let's go. Let's see. Let's see. Frankie, yeah, let's go. Shout out to V-Team Crypto. Said Frankie's face is going to be on the side of the BitBoy Crypto's building. It's kind of a big deal. Yeah, guys, we are super close to 50K. We won't get our face on, I don't know, maybe I could finagle something. I feel like, Frankie Candle's YouTube channel came out of the gate hot. And I don't know if Ben and TJ expected that to go as good as it went. It's supposed to be 100K. I'll be honest. They're probably going to stick to the 100K. But maybe I could try to finagle something. I don't know. Like, listen, we crushed it. We got to 50K pretty quickly. So hopefully we can get our name on the building. That's a real thing. We will get our name on the BitBoy Crypto building or the Hit Network building if we get 100,000 subscribers. But maybe we'll try to expedite it. I don't know. But, yeah, shout out to V-Team Crypto. Let's see. Let's see. Ravens 3-eyed said your Discord link is not working. At Tony D. This is I think it does. I don't know. Ask Tony D. He's the king of Discord. He's in chat. He will let you know what's up with that in a second. Crypto Cheek said officially unsubbed. Okay. Is it because I couldn't answer the question about funded accounts? Let me know. Crypto Cheeks. Let me know. Let's see. The face is cheaper than all the letters. You got to pay by letter, but a face is a flat price. I like that. Is it just my face plastered on the building? I like that. Actually, I would hate that. 30-minute blood diamond. We'll check that in a second. Looking at CFX 3-day. I'm just going to look at the 3-day because that's what they asked for. Not a lot of information. Red dot confirmed. It's not that. There's not really enough information for me to go off of here. Yeah. Dang. I wish there was more information, man. Yeah, not a lot of information here. Potential bullish divergence here on the 4-hour, though. I'll tell you that much. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, lower lows on your price action, higher highs on your momentum waves. I would like to see money flow coming up a little bit more here, but that next green dot may be able to give you a bounce. If you do get that bounce, I would potentially, these are some of the levels I would look at. I would watch these 2 golden pocket retracements. I would watch right here for some potential resistance. I would also watch right here for some potential resistance. There you go. Hopefully that answers your question. I don't know exactly what you wanted to look at, but I'm going to go quickly here. But yeah, like just looking at this 4-hour bull div, once you print that green dot on the 4-hour, you may be able to get a little bit of a move to the upside. Altcoin votes are in and being counted. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. I appreciate you, bro. Let's see. Crypto Cheek said, much love, Frankie. You've been my crypto trading teacher. I very much appreciate you, broski. Is that what you meant, dude? By unsubbing was because I couldn't answer the funded trading thing? Let me know. Shout out to Crypto Cheeks. But yeah. Let's go. Crypto Cheeks said, no, I'm picking on Tony. Get him. Get him, Crypto Cheeks. Pick on him. I'm just kidding. Shout out to Crypto Cheeks. But anyway, Frankie deserves that sign. Thank you, Bubba's. I appreciate you, man. Tony D with the super chat. Hello, George. Are you looking to sell your house? Oh, Tony D. Guys, we got these. We got the scammers reaching out, trying to get us to sell our houses, but they're just scammers. We know that. We answer them live on stream. Thesis himself in the chat. What is going on, bro? Thesis said, diamonds are bloody. Yellow X's are funny. Don't matter which way. We're still making money. Ban yellow X's. Shout out to Thesis, bro. I love that. I wish I could pin super chats. Dude, that's good. Diamonds are bloody. Yellow X's are funny. Don't matter which way. We're still making money. Ooh, baby. Thesis, bro. That's good, bro. That's good. I probably won't be able to remember it, but if I was, I would outright just be straight up with you. I'm stealing that, but I'll probably forget it. But shout out to Thesis. Appreciate you for being here. Appreciate the super chat, man. Shout out to you. Let's see. No, I'm my hero. I don't think they celebrated Rob's birthday just yet. There is still time. And speaking of altcoins, guys, there you go. A little quick and dirty on CFX there. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Ethereum or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. Taking a look. Let's dig in here. ETH chart, getting a little bit messy. Might have to make a new one soon. Let's see. Yeah, I think we did make this new one recently. Let's take a look at this. Okay. No, we didn't. I'm going to start a new ETH chart, guys. New ETH. Okay. Zooming out here. Oh, God, I don't know if I want to delete all this. I'm going to hide all of it because I don't want to delete any of these key levels. But here's the thing, guys. Here's what we were looking at on ETH. Just to try to help someone out there at home, if you're looking at the charts, the reason I bring all this stuff up from the past, guys, is because I feel like it's the easiest way to teach and the easiest way for people to learn, right? Especially if we talk about one thing on a stream in the past, like if we talked about something on the stream yesterday or Monday, and what we were looking at happens, or even if it doesn't happen, I like to go back and look at that stuff so people could start to see, like, on their 5th or 6th or 7th or 8th stream, they're like, wow, that's the 3rd time that he talked about if we lose that value area high thing, we go to the value area low. And if that could spark one person a week to go use the volume profile and backtest it and learn, then it's worth it for me, right? So we had higher highs on our price action at our key level of resistance. You guys will remember this. Key level of resistance, higher highs. This line is probably from that stream still. Higher highs on our price action, lower highs on our momentum waves with our money flow coming out that more likely than not, and by more likely than not, I mean almost all the time. Nothing is 100% in trading. I don't ever want to come off like that, guys, but you guys, if you guys watch the show, you guys will be very up to date with how reliable money flow is, and especially when combined with the volume profiles. But higher highs on our price action, lower highs on our momentum waves with money flow coming out was letting us know that we may be able to cool off here for Ethereum. And If we were going to get that cool off, we knew well, I was probably calling for a potential bounce on this value area high if I had to guess. Very hard to remember everything I talk about. Thank God it's all recorded. I like sometimes people will be like, oh, you think you know what you're doing, huh? Well, were you right about this? And I'm like, luckily it's recorded. I'm not going to go look for it. You can feel free to go through the YouTube channel and try to find it. I don't know. I don't remember. But it's all recorded. Thank God. But I was probably, if I had a guess, we were probably looking for a bounce on that value area high, but also saying if we lose it decisively, which we have lost the value area high, are we going to be down here decisively? We will take a deeper look in a second, but if we cannot get back above this value area high, where is price likely to go? I don't think Creighton C is here, so let's see. Tanner A, let me know. If we lose this value area high and we cannot get back above, where are we going next? Where is price likely to go next? Tanner A. Tanner? Right, Tanner. Tanner said go right to the POC. That is likely the next spot for Bitcoin to go if you cannot get back above that value area high. Oh, yeah, there we go. He actually did say it. Let's go. Tanner A in the house. Let's go. FUD expert. Everybody knows now. I like that. I like that. The whole chat span and PLT. This is how we know you're learning. Let's go. Guys, this is, right, again, we broke the value area high. If we cannot get back above here, price is likely to come to the POC, which is coming in right here at about 1880. If we lose 1880, price is likely, I'm going to get rid of this line. I don't even know what this level is, but I'm just going to irresponsibly delete it. If we lose the POC, price is likely to come down to the local value area low. Where is that coming in? At 1850, not too far from the POC. These are the next major levels I would be looking at for Ethereum in the short term. Now, what if we're looking at the longer term? Well, if we're looking at the longer term, we can look at this grander range that we've been trading in. And again, I'm going to try to hide some of this stuff just to clean up the chart. I'm going to hide this. I'm going to hide. Let's hide this. Boom. Let's hide this. Boom. Let's hide this. Boom. I'm just going to get rid of that line. I'll get rid of these drawings. Boom. Boom. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. And let's just clean it up. Now you guys can see we have a bigger range here. We have a bigger value area between 1730 and 1920. Great year. 1920, amazing year. Actually not. But that is just our local range. We look at multiple ranges, right? And again, you have to look at the local ranges to predict where price is going to go in the short term. But if you want to look at the longer term, you can just look here. We broke. What happened here? And again, just look at the range. Support on the high, low, you come to the high. You deviate from the high, lose the value area high. What happens when you lose the value area high? You come right to the POC. Back to the high, back to the POC. Back to the high, deviation from the high. You break, I'm going to zoom in here. You break back below the high. Bearish retest. Now you are being accepted back into the range. You're expecting to come to the POC, which you did almost immediately, and then you're expecting to come to the value area low. This was actually cleaner than it typically happens. Typically, it's a lot messier than that. But you lose the value area high, bearish retest, right to the POC, and eventually you're expecting to come to the low. You get to the low. You get support on the hite. You're expecting to come to the POC. Where did price go? Right to the POC. You cling to the POC. The POC acts as a magnet for price. But eventually, even though price action's messy, you are still expecting, by the laws of the volume profile, you are expecting to eventually come back to the high. What happened? You came back to the high. What happened next? You reject the high. You come down. You're expecting to come to the POC. You bounce around. Price action's messy, but you do come to the POC. You get another bounce. You're still, as soon as you reject here, you're expecting to come to the low. But price action's messy. You bing bong around right to the POC, cling around to the POC, you lose the POC directly to the low. Deviate from the low, flip it to support, right to the high, then right to the POC. Right back to the high, deviation, now we are losing the high again. Does that make sense to everybody? This is how we look at the volume profiles, right? And right now, we are losing this value area high. So are we going to see the same thing happen that happened when we rejected the high here? It went straight to the POC, or we rejected the high here, straight to the low, or rejected the high here, right to the low. Are we going to see the same thing happen? Potentially. Like I said, it doesn't always happen. It didn't happen here, right? Well, okay, never mind. It didn't happen here. We rejected the high, came to the POC, back to the high, back to the POC, back to the high, and then we broke the high, right? So it doesn't always work, but we are below the value area high. Simply put, if we cannot get back above here, again, we looked at those local levels, which are definitely relevant in the short term, but in the long term, if we can't get back above this level, you may look to come down to your macro point of control coming in at 1818. If you break below that macro value area low, you're expecting to come to the macro POC. You're expecting to come to the macro value area low coming in at 1730, right? So these are the more macro levels I would be looking at. And I will go all the way back in time to get all our TA back on the chart. Whoops, that is not what I wanted to do. And then again, looking at the local range again, locally, you could look at your local value area low, right? Those levels I gave just before. I don't want to confuse people too much. So there you go. Hashtag value Stephen Atwell. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you. But that's what we're looking at, right, guys? That is what I would be looking at for Ethereum, at least as far as levels. Now let's take a look at the indicator. And again, ETH kind of front-ran Bitcoin on this one, guys, with the bear div and money flow crossover into the red. Are we going to see Bitcoin follow suit here? Potentially. But taking a look at the daily. Daily red dot printing, guys. Daily red dot printing, no divergence. Money flow starting to roll back out here. Money flow starting to roll back out. We have spent more time in the blue, or in the green, I should say. We spent a lot more time here with money flow in the green than we have in the red lately. We only had a little blip in the red here, little blip in the red here. Everything else was in the green. Might be time to come down into a little bit of a bigger red wave. Now, do the higher time frames support this thesis? Shout out to himself. But do the higher time frames, kind of hold this, hold together on this, right? I don't know what I'm trying to say. 3-day VWAP, I mean, kind of coming down, not coming out as aggressively as the as Bitcoin. 2-day support on the zero line, VWAP on the way towards that zero line. Again, I don't think you're going to get it today or tomorrow, but that red dot on the 2-day is lurking here, right? It's looking to print very soon. I will say the higher time frames look a little better on Ethereum, but they look like they're just a little bit behind Bitcoin. But the red dot, the red dot is printing just like Bitcoin, looking very similar. I would lean with the same sentiment on Ethereum as Bitcoin. So yeah, that's what I would look at. But really, it's those main levels, right? And again, I will just go ahead and hide all these levels really quickly, guys, and just show you, kind of. Ah, come on. Let me, sorry about that. Let me go ahead and, okay, there we go. All right. Again, if we just go ahead, let me just turn on the bigger volume profile. Boom. Right, POC at 1818, right? Again, this is the macro volume profile with without all the extra noise, right? Now, if we could hold support above this value area high, that might wind up being bullish, right? But again, just to keep it simple, you go from the low to the high. You deviate from the high, back to the POC, back to the high, back to the low. Back to the high, back to the low. Back to the high, back to the POC, back to the high. And again, hopefully this helps you guys understand, kind of going over this multiple times. If we lose this level decisively, that's where I'm looking for a move down to the POC at 1818. And then local levels obviously still relevant, but there we go. That is what I'm looking at on Ethereum. Let's see. Let's see. You can't buy Frankie. He's not a lady of the night. Shout out to Tanner A. Shout out to Hundo Paid Weather. Let's go. They be paying off those weathermen lately. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Say, can you look at D-Race? It's been pamping. Yes, I can take a look at D-Race, but I will take this time to remind you guys. I appreciate, more than you could possibly imagine, the super chats. Don't get me wrong. But I will say, I do just want to reiterate, because I think some people might think it works like this. Super chats will not guarantee that we look at your coin. It does help me see the chat for sure. But I don't want, sometimes people are like, I super chatted and you didn't look at my coin. I want to be upfront. That is not how it works. But I will take a look at D-Race Hundo just because I think we will have time. So shout out to you, bro. I appreciate the super chat. Altcoins are pinned. And with that being said, guys, let's move on to our first altcoin, which is going to be MAV. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay. Continuing on. Okay. Taking a look at MAV. Okay, let's go ahead. Is this a new, what is this? I assume it is somewhat new. Oh, God. What is this? Crypto Pollo. I think you're the one that said you wanted to see this. Which one is it? What is it? Is it Maverick? Mav? I assume it's this one. Daily, not a lot of price history on this one. Let's see. Dave Digital said, I know I super chatted for advice raising twin ginger boys, and you just ignored me. Shout out to Dave Digital. I don't even know what that, shout out to Dave Digital. Let's see, Crypto Boy. Oh, yes, I know. I said it's new. Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure, Pollo, stop me if I'm looking at the wrong one. I think this is the right one, though. But let's take a look here. From a technical standpoint, again, I do not know what this does, but I will try to take a look at the highest time frame I can that has some kind of information on it, which looks like it's going to be the 1 hour. So, yeah, money flow coming out on the 1 hour, but I really don't have a lot to go off of here, to be honest. 45-minute money flow crossover into the red. Very hard to say here. It is. Let me see. Bear with me here. Very hard to do this with such little price action, but nothing. A little. We'll just pull volume profile on this whole dang thing. All right. Yeah. Okay. So see how this just clears everything up for you. Let me. If I move down here, yeah, this is what I would look at right now. Actually, I don't even really love this that much. Let me move it. Boom. Yeah, this is what I would look at. So we broke out here. Obviously, this was a bit overbought or a bit overvalued for this coin. And we came back down, bounced on the value area high, and then came back and got accepted back into the range. We are now breaking below that POC and rejecting from it currently. These are your levels, right? I'm probably only going to be able to give you the levels here, Crypto Pollo. Because, again, it is a little bit there's not really enough information for me to make a call on this longer term. But you are bearishly retesting this value point of control with your money flow coming out on the hourly. If you get that money flow crossover on the hourly, it could potentially bring you back down to the low, coming in here at about 39 cents. So these are kind of the macro levels I would look at, Pollo, if you want to screenshot those. And I will dig in a little bit more for you in a second. Okay, perfect. Crypto Pollo said it's the levels I'm looking for. These are the levels that I would be looking at on the macro, 45 cents, or 0.4573, 0.4251, and 0.3931. More locally, I would zoom in here, and I would actually, I would argue this is, yeah, let's pull a range on this real quick. Yeah, so I would potentially, if I were looking, I would look. These are your local levels, right? I'd look at this volume profile, this point of value area low, honestly, the point of control and value area high, the macro point of control and the local value area high are almost the exact same level here. But these are the levels locally I'd be looking at, right? Because if you wind up losing this, if you're going to wind up getting back over this POC, this range is likely to give you insight into that happening, right? Because if you come down here and you get some kind of crazy bullish setup, you might want to go for a scalp long to the value area high. But the cool thing here is if you flip that value area high locally, you're flipping the macro POC, which winds up opening the door for a big move up, right? And you don't have to take a massive risk trading the middle of the range here. What you can do is simply just zoom in and look for the scalp, right? So you can just zoom in, wait for price to come into your trap, which would in this case be your value area low, right? And then you can look to just target the local value area high, right? So you just look for this little 2% scalp, right? And if you get that, maybe price comes down, right? Maybe price comes down. Maybe you get your setup, right? And you get it up there. And then you can lock in profits here, move your stop loss to break even. Now it's a risk-free guaranteed winning trade. And if you break out, you get a big door to open to the upside for way higher prices. And I can almost guarantee you, let me see if I can get the VPVR up here. Yeah, look at this. You might be good for a decent, breakout trade right there, right? So, again, I typically, in the longer term, do not just trade I don't just trade in the middle of a range, right? Like if we're looking at this as the macro range, I wouldn't be trading the POC. But if you zoom in, you can just look at it as a local range, look for the scalp, and then hey, if I break out of this value area high, I know there's a big volume gap here, right? I know there's a big volume gap here, and price is likely to get a big move up. And then, if that winds up happening, you turn that little 2% scalp trade into a potential, almost 5%, day trade or what have you, depending on how long it takes to play out. But that's what I'd be looking for, Poyo. There's the local and the macro levels for you. Hopefully that helps you out, brother. Shout out to Crypto Poyo. We love you, bro. Crypto Poyo said, Frankie Candles, I swear I have almost the same levels. I was in at 41.57. Oh, hey, so you're like kind of in this trade. You're basically in this trade. You're in a long? Okay, so I will say this, not financial advice, Poyo, but I would say, so you're like chilling in this trade right now? Hey, yeah. So wouldn't it be a bad idea to have taken profits here at the value area high for the scalp? But, now you have context. If it breaks out here and you flip this to support, you might be able to ride up to about 43 cents. But shout out to you, bro. Nice. Bitcoin Cash. We can take a look at Bitcoin Cash. Let's see. All right, let's continue on there. There is Mav. Hopefully that helps you out, Crypto Poyo. We do that for you, brother. We love you. Let's check out Solana, or as some people like to call it, Solana. And let's take a look here. All right, taking a look at the daily. All right, let's zoom in here. Okay, again, it's one of those times where I wish I knew what we were talking about when I drew this line. It's like it either means that I predicted exactly this move up until now, or this move was here and I was just explaining something and drawing lines. Very hard to tell. But anyway, taking a look here. We got a nice bounce off our level right here. Daily red dot printing. Not impossible to get a pullback here, I will say. Kind of what we were expecting. This should be, this was support, now resistance. So I'm going to change this to purple. But, yeah, if we get that move down, I will be looking. Here's some levels I would be watching. I would watch this local golden pocket retracement. Boom. Longs. Yeah, so I would look if we get that red dot to pull us down a little bit more. Now, again, I will point out, just generally, your money flow is coming to the upside. Higher lows, right? Just generally low, higher low, potential higher low. So money flow is definitely somewhat trending to the upside, right? So that's why I would not be looking to enter a giant swing short to come to lower prices on this. Rather, I would look for this move down to be somewhat lackluster to put in a higher low and continue to the upside. Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, potential higher high. And if we're able to break above this level, we now have context into what may happen here. I would even look, if you do get a higher low here and you do come up, I would potentially look for resistance on our value area low of this previous range from back here, right? Because if we come down, put in the higher low, we could come up and bearishly retest that value area low. But if we can get back above it, we know that that opens the door to get accepted back into this area of balance or this range, essentially. I'm going to start calling these ranges because I feel like I might be confusing people with the term area of balance. But there you go, right? The reason I call it an area of balance, guys, is because price ranges more often than it doesn't, right? So, this is considered a fair price for Bitcoin, right? Well, besides that, right? This range is considered a fair value for Bitcoin, right? That's why it's called the value area. When you deviate away from the value area, you could think of this as oversold. Just like the RSI gets oversold, this is like price being oversold. And when price is oversold, you expect a reversal, right? And then you come back into the area of balance. So when you get oversold, you're expecting, hey, this is a little too cheap. People are probably going to buy this back up and bring it back into the area of balance, which is between these two prices, at least at this point, right? So you have balance, 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 imbalance. And then you find balance again, like even here, right? Somewhat balance, 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 imbalance, balance, imbalance, imbalance, balance, imbalance, right? So that's why I say value area or fair value. It's basically when price is within the range, it is a fair price. When it is above, it's overbought. And when it's below, it's oversold. That's kind of how you can think of it. But if we flip this value area low, if we do wind up, again, locally, I do think you pull back with the daily red dot, right? Are the higher time frames in agreement with this? 2-day VWAP rolling back over. 12-hour money flow coming back out. Yeah, I would look for a potential further push down here. And if you do, but again, because of the way money flow looks on these higher time frames, right? Generally coming up on the 12-hour, generally coming up on the 16-hour. Daily, generally coming up. 2-day, generally coming up. That is why I would be expecting to put in a higher low and look for a long to the upside. If we flip this value area low at $20.81, it may open the door to come up to your POC coming in at 23.38. And if you can get above that POC, I would look up here to the value area high at 25.81. Let me see if I can get any confluence here, potentially. So we basically came up, got the move down, retraced to the golden pocket, went for the 786. I wouldn't be surprised if you pull back to this blue box, and if you do, that's kind of what I would look for. All right, let's see. Let's see. Shout out to Wealthy Wyatt, says, just replace my pool with the sauce. Let's go. So you could say, I'm swimming in the sauce. Shout out to Wealthy Wyatt. I appreciate you for being here, bro. And congratulations on the new pool. Let's see. Zeus Cash says the Candle Mafia puts the fun in dysfunctional. Hey, if you're going to be dysfunctional, you might as well have fun while doing it, right? Shout out to you guys. Let's take a look at XRP. How long have we been going for here? I don't know if I'm running long or early here. Oh, no, we're good. All right, let's see. Let's see. All right. Easier to swim in sauce than gold coins. That is true. It's probably impossible to swim in gold coins. Shout out to Brad Guidell. What is going on, bro? Happy to have you here. Let's continue on. Taking a look at XRP, guys. We have not checked in on XRP in a minute. So let's go ahead and show it some love. It's been basically going sideways, so I don't hate that we haven't checked in on it. But let's go ahead and take a look. Let's see. Where is our actual XRP chart? Come on. There it is. Okay, zooming in on the 4-hour. Let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, again, wish I knew what we were doing here. I doubt we predicted this that accurately. That's kind of unlikely. Who knows, though? But let's take a look here. Kind of just chilling. Kind of just chilling in the same spot we've been for quite some time, guys. Yeah, XRP kind of boring at this point. But take a look at the 4-hour. Yeah, volume. Okay. Yeah. At this point, just looking at the volume profile, and again, it doesn't mean it's guaranteed to happen. We've rejected the highs. We've never actually tapped the value area low here. So let's look at the indicators first. Excuse me. Yeah, daily VWAP coming down. Looking for the red dot here on XRP. I would look for a potential, let me see the 16-hour. Red dot confirmed on the 16-hour. Your 2-day, printing a green dot. This, interesting. What's the weekly look like? Money flow crossing over into the green on the weekly. That's a good sign. This looks somewhat similar to Bitcoin. I mean, money flow crossing into the red on the 4-hour. This looks choppy. I'll be honest. This looks super choppy. I would continue to keep an eye on these levels. Value area low. I would watch for a potential tap of the value area low. But if you hold on this POC, I would essentially look for a move back up to the value area high. But it looks choppy. I'll be honest with you guys. It doesn't look really primed in one way or the other. Yeah, I would just look. I would look to hold this point of control, which is coming in at about 46 cents, almost even. So if we get a move down here, I would look to lose that point of control and potentially come back down to the value area low. If you're able to hold on top of the POC, I would just look for some consolidation. Whether you come back up to the value area high or not is one thing, but I would just look to continue to consolidate here. But yeah, nothing really that exciting going on for XRP. Actually looks pretty boring. I mean, watch it moon tomorrow or dump tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, you're just kind of choppy just sitting here. This is kind of why I haven't been looking at XRP lately. It's just because it's been pretty boring. But, yeah, that's kind of what I would look for. I mean, money flow generally coming out on the 2-hour, 4-hour. I mean, VWAP's coming up on the 3-hour and the 4-hour. Like, local, same thing as Bitcoin. Locally, I'd look for some kind of small retrace. But other than that, I mean, your money flow on the 2-hour and the 4-hour coming out, I would look for a potential test of that POC and a potential break of it. If you break it, look to come down to about 44 cents. And that's what I'd be looking for on XRP. Kind of boring on XRP. XRP is a pain to short. Yeah. Donato Cabrera, what is going on, bro? I just said your name because it's fun to say, and I saw you pop up in chat. As someone with a little XRP, I would buy more XRP at these levels. Wick 589. As someone also with a little XRP, I would buy XRP at these levels. I wouldn't. I mean, it's not horrible. Not a horrible spot to buy. For me, in my opinion. Obviously, down here would be a much better place to buy, but nothing's really saying we're going down there. Just looking at the macro here, guys. Weekly, like the weekly money flow is more telling than anything, right? Like when in doubt. I always say when in doubt, zoom out. Like also, like when things are unclear, zoom out, right? Like in general, VWAP rolling up here, starting to round off, money flow crossing over into the green, and just in general, your money flow came out, pretty much bottomed out here, and since then has been trending to the upside, right? So this would be, mostly pretty bullish, right, in the long term, pointing to the upside, right? So there you go. Hey, shout out to Apples Up North, gifting those 5 Frankie Candles memberships. Shout out to Apples Up North, one of our other huge membership gifters. Apples Up North, I don't know if you were in here when I said it, but we literally got an achievement unlocked on YouTube. It said, hey, high five yourself. You have 700 members now. And I just want to high five you and Hannah and everyone else that's been gifting those memberships. And Art NFT's getting that membership. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Guys, shout out to Apples Up North in the chat if you just got a membership. Apples is the pen apple in my pen pineapple apple pen. Shout out to Crypto Crabman. Let's go. All right, let's see. I thought I was a member already, but I guess I wasn't. Shout out to Crypto Cheeks. Welcome in, Crypto Cheeks. Let's go. Yeah, zooming way out is the key to making the chart interesting. Yep. Yeah, shout out to you guys. Let's go. Shout out to Apples Up North. Let's go. If you have a white name, show yourself. Wow, there is no white names in here. Whoa. Oh, my God. Guys. Does everybody in here, right? Hold up. And Art is the first non-green name I saw, but they just got a membership. Hang on. Oh, Jordan? Jordan doesn't have it yet. Shout out to Jordan. Oh, my God, guys. There are so many green names in here. It's out of control. Shout out to the Candle Mafia. Guys, can I show you something pretty cool? Before we jump into our next altcoin, which is going to be Render Token, can I show you guys something really cool? This is cool, guys. Now, this is really cool for me. It's cool for you guys, too. But the reason I bring it up is because I'm really happy about this. This is really cool. Let me pull up and shout out to anybody if you guys had already seen this. But guys, I'm letting it load. Sorry, I haven't taken a sip of my Aztecian cactus moss. Give me 1 second here, guys. Shout out to BingX. Anybody familiar with BingX? I think you guys are. Guys, do you see something funny? Do you see something funny on the BingX homepage, guys? What? Who's this guy? Who's this guy? On the BingX homepage, guys. Check it out. How cool is that? Can you guys even see that, or am I covering it up? How cool is that, guys? You can't even see it. Guys, who's that guy? Who's that guy on the BingX homepage? Look at that. That's wild to me, guys. I don't know. Like, that's so cool. That's so cool to me. Never did I think I would be on BingX's homepage. Life is crazy, guys. Life is crazy. But I do bring this up, guys, because we are going to be on 7-Eleven as an homage to New York on 7-Eleven, guys. I'm just kidding. But on July 11th, guys, I am going to be doing a volume profile and divergences live tutorial with BingX, powered by BingX. We're going to be doing this. Super, super cool. And it's going to probably be at 5:45 p.m. I think we actually changed the time of it. They probably have to update that. But we're going to be doing it's going to be a shorter stream during the day. And it's going to be really, really cool. They're like pushing this, and I think we may be able to get a bunch of new CandleMafia members, and it's going to be really, really cool. Shout out to BingX for doing this with us. It's like not even a sponsorship or anything, guys. They were just like, hey, like, we think Frankie's cool. And like, I might have made that up. I don't know if they think I'm cool. But they were basically like, hey, we think it'd be a good idea. Like maybe Frankie does like a tutorial and it'd be cool. And I don't even really know. It's super, super cool though. But yeah, Frankie Candles on the BingX homepage, guys. I was like low key geeking out over that. I was like, I saw that. I was like, this is cool, man. This is cool. I never thought I'd be on the cover of BingX. It's like some people want to be on the cover of magazines. I just want to be on the cover of a crypto exchange. Shout out to BingX, guys. Shout out to Dave Digital said, click the green box. Select allow gifts. Oh, there we go. Shout out to Dave Digital letting everybody know. Congrats, awesome, man. Congrats. Yeah, shout out to you guys, man. It's going to be cool. Shout out to Crypto Anon in the chat. What's up, bro? Thank you, guys. It's super, super cool. And, yeah, it's going to be fun. Just to be clear, we are sponsored by BingX. Oh, we are sponsored by BingX. Okay, that's my fault. I thought there were some details I missed out on there. But Frankie is correct. This stream is separate. Yes, the stream is separate. They just kind of approached us and was like, hey, this could probably be cool. Thank you. Thank God Tony D is here, guys. There's a lot of details and intricacies in running something like this. It's really hard to understand, or not understand, but retain all the differences and all these different details and stuff. So shout out to Tony D. We are sponsored by BingX. Yeah, shout out to you. But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and continue on here and take a look at Render, or as some people like to call it, Runder. Here we go. Let's take a look. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, looking very similar to what do they call what's the big one? What's this one? What is it called? Bitcoin or whatever? Is it BitPay, or whatever? I don't know. Whatever this thing is. What is it? Yeah, BitPay, I think it is. Anyway, but yeah, on Render, guys, looking very similar to Bitcoin. VWAP coming to the downside, looking to print that red dot. We are down to our POC here. We are down to our POC. What is this range even pulled from? Yeah, why did I pull? This is okay. Well, okay. Guys, the volume profile is just like, sometimes I look at the volume profile and I'm like, no way that worked. And it does. And I'm just like, wow. Super powerful. Let's see. Did Bubba's Crypto... Oh, yo, shout out to Cheeks. Wait, is Cheeks different than Crypto Cheeks? Shout out to Cheeks and Crypto Cheeks, too. Thank you for gifting those 10 memberships. Guys, what's with the gifting the memberships? And Bubba's Crypto gifting the memberships. Let's go. Shout out to Apples Up North, Bubba's Crypto, and Cheeks. And shout out to Crypto Cheeks, too, just because, chemistry, bro. It's our boy. Let's go. Yeah, shout out to everybody gifting the memberships. Yo, yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. I never win anything, Crypto Cowpoke. All right, continuing on. Oh, yeah, we got 550 likes, too, guys. Let's go. Today's a good stream. We're on the cover of BingX, front page of BingX. We're getting memberships gifted. We hit 550 likes. Tony D with the gifted membership. Shout out to Tony D. That's out of pocket, guys. He would have gifted them from my account if it was the company. Shout out to Tony D, man. Let's go. Shout out to everybody. You guys are seriously the best, man. Shout out to the CandleMafia. But guys, Johnny Two Pockets has already gotten 2 memberships. Unbelievable. But guys, yeah, I mean, right now we've basically been accepted back into this area of balance. We've rejected breakdown, bearish retest, been rejected from that value area high, and we are now getting a bounce on that blue box, which is getting very close to the POC, which is sitting at about $1.93. So I would be the next major level of support, right? We got that golden pocket here, 786 at the bottom of this blue box. If we continue down, I would look for a move to that 786 coming in at $1.93. And if we lose that POC, where are we going? Tanner's filling in for Creighton C, guys. Tanner, where are we going if we lose the POC? Correct. Right back down to the value area low at about $1.87. Not guaranteed, but that is kind of what I would be looking at in the medium term, right? These are the major levels I would be looking at. And if we pull up our VPVR, let's pull it up, VRVP. Let's see. People are... sorry, guys. Sometimes I see stuff. Anyway, looking at the VPVR, I do just want to take a look kind of at this. I want to take a look at this whole range here. Yeah. If we lose that POC, you will see that we have a decent fall off in volume. At least locally here to that value area low. So Probably going to be something similar to like right here. You lose it, it's probably going to be a quick move down to that value area low. Same thing here, right? Quick move down to that value area low. If we lose that POC, I would look for another quick move down. But that's kind of what I would look for on render. Looking very similar to Bitcoin with the red dot on the daily, confirmed on the 16-hour. But again, on all of this stuff, guys, on all of this stuff, just about everything that we've looked at, money flow generally coming up here on the daily for render, right? Generally coming up on the daily. Oh, shout out to Dave. Yo, shout out to Dave Digital. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, I had my hand up. You never called on me. Value area low. Shout out to Dave Digital. Also correct. Shout out to Ant Arts. What's going on, man? Bully Barry in the house. What's going on, guys? But yeah, that's kind of what I would be looking at, guys. Back in this little value area, I would look the lows looking down at about $1.87. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I would look for, guys. That's what I would look for. I'm just gonna pull this retracement real quick just to see where that golden pocket is. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, and then your golden pocket basically in line with the level you're at right now, and that 786 is in line with that value area low, adding a little bit of confluence to those levels I just mentioned on render. So there you go. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Cesar Gonzalez. What is going on, brother? Let's go ahead and check out our last altcoin, which is going to be Matic. I had MAV written down. Guys, oh no, right here. What was the other one? D-Race. I could definitely take a look at D-Race. Yeah, let's continue on. Chat going nuts. Let's go. Let's see. Take a look at Matic USD. Gonna go ahead and extend that value area. Oh, baby. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start a fresh chart here, guys, real quick. I'm gonna pull the range. We are testing that point of control as we speak. Yeah, so from the low, flip it to support, to the high, to the low, to the high. Deviation, back below the value area low, value area high, I'm sorry. If we cannot get back above this value area high, guys, I will look for a bigger move down for Matic, down potentially to the value area low, but we do have some levels in between. I would look. I would also keep an eye on this golden pocket, N786, but for the most part, coming down to the 4-hour. I'm going to come down to a lower time frame. I'm going to mark out this value area high, and I want to see if we're actually getting stuck underneath this. Yeah. There it is. Breakdown, bearish retest, acceptance. Now, that's not really, like, it's not written in a book anywhere that once you bearishly reject one time, you're officially accepted back into the range. That's a little bit more of a not black and white answer, but to me, this is a breakdown, a bearish retest, and an acceptable dump into the range. We are now likely getting accepted back in here, at least for the time being. And then, like, even more locally, God, I'm a nerd, man. I'm such a nerd. Look at this. Oh, my God. Pull this range here. Unextend it. Here's the range you're trading in now, right? From back here, this little area of consolidation, this little area of balance has your value area high and your POC. Whoops. Your value area high, value area low, and your POC. And you can see, you can POC that these levels are respected. If we come down to a lower time frame, here it is. This is the range, right? This is kind of your local range. Value area low, POC, value area high. All levels being respected. Even though I pulled this range from all the way back here, these levels are still respected. You break below that value area high, even though that value area high is from all the way back here. Once again, you get below that value area high. You were expecting to come to the low. What happened? You went to the low and beyond. What happens when you flip that low to support? You're likely to come to the high. What happened? Right to the high. Right to the low. Deviation. We could be on our way back to the high. Green dot printing on the 12-hour. 12-minute, guys. That is a clear, very important difference. 12-minute. Green dot on the 12-minute. Definitely no green dot on the 12-hour. 12-minute green dot. 15-minute green dot as well. Money flow starting to round off here. I'd like to see this come up a little bit more. We're probably pretty close to a green dot on the 4-hour. Creeping up there. Yeah, creeping up there. 2-hour green dot confirmed, 3-hour green dot looking to print. So locally, in the short term for Matic, I would look for a move back up to about 67.6738 cents. If you break above that level, I would look for 6.6778. In the longer term, I will say money flow on your 2 hours coming out. Money flow on your 4 hour also coming out. 6 hour coming out with a money flow as well. And your daily red dot is looking to print. I would look for some more. Once we get that red dot on the daily and it confirms, I would expect more downside for Matic. And again, I just showed you that local volume profile that we're sitting in over here. But more macro, or looking at the, zooming out a little bit there, looking at more of the macro, not only, if we lose this value area low, this macro POC at 66 cents is going to be important. But just, zooming out, 90-minute money flow. Yeah, here's your bearish case on Matic, guys. First off, you're getting accepted back into the macro range, right? Let me get rid of some of this stuff. I'm going to get rid of that other range I just drew. And just look at this macro range. Pretty bearish, right? Because we got dropped below the value area low. We've come right to the POC. And we can't get back above that value area high. And we break below the POC. It's likely going to be more downside for Matic ahead. Because not only do you have the daily red dot looking to print, but you also have your 90-minute money flow coming out at the same time. And a lot of times when you get that red dot with the 90-minute money flow, red dot on the daily with the 90-minute money flow crossover into the red, you can also look at the 1 hour, which is already in the red, which could foreshadow that the 90 minutes going to go into the red. But when you get these at the same time, sometimes it can give you some bigger moves to the downside. So in which case, if we get that red dot and that money flow crossover into the red, I will be looking for the loss of that POC to open up some more downside for Matic, potentially bringing it all the way back down to 60 cents. But you are still pretty far away from there. So again, I would keep an eye on some of these retracement levels, right? Again, right here, 64 cents. This golden pocket would be a level that I would watch. Right about there. And then obviously your 786 at 62.5 cents is going to be another level to watch as well. So there you go, guys. I would really watch this. For the move to the downside, I'd watch that 90-minute money flow crossover into the red, especially when it's paired with a red dot on the daily. So there you go, guys. Frankie, do you trade alts mainly and buy BTC on spot, or just stick to trading BTC? Just curious. Shout out to Crypto Cheeks. I actually talked about this the other day. I trade alts when the setups are there. But I keep a very, very close eye on Bitcoin, right? The reason I don't recommend people trade altcoins right away is, number one, because I can bump it. What is going on, brother? Shout out to you, man. Thank you for being here. I will say this, right? When you start trading, if you're new, master one thing, right? Like, trade Bitcoin and get good at that, right? Don't trade Bitcoin and then try to trade XRP and then go to try to trade a meme coin. You're going to get blasted all over the place, right? Like, you're going to get wrecked, stopped out. You're going to get thrown all over the place. So I would recommend kind of mastering Bitcoin. Number one, just trading Bitcoin to master one asset. And then number two is if you're looking at the altcoins, chances are if it looks really bullish and, the altcoin looks like it's about to rip and then Bitcoin dumps, like, it's not really going to matter what the chart on the altcoin looks like, right? So if you're new, I would stick to just Bitcoin. Me personally, I kind of flip-flop back and forth. I go through phases depending on, number one, the market, number two, my schedule, just my life. When I have a lot of time to sit at the computer, I do tend to bleed into, like, trading a bunch of different alts and Bitcoin. I'm in way more trades, when things are like that. But I will say this, more recently I've been trading a lot more just Bitcoin. I guess it's just the season of my life right now. I'm very busy with other things. I don't want to be monitoring multiple assets. So I have been trading just Bitcoin more recently. But again, kind of to each his own. But for beginners, I would recommend just sticking to Bitcoin. Number one, because alts are tied to Bitcoin for the most part. And number two, just focus on one thing, right? Like, trading the alts on top of, when you start trading, you need all the help you can get. So all the things that you can control easily, you want to make sure they're in your favor, right? So if you're trading Bitcoin and then a bunch of different alts and you're a beginner, you're stacking the odds even more against you than they already are, right? So you're just adding more, you're adding more unclarity and unpredictability that you do not need when you start trading. So I just would stick with one, but To each his own. Alt give more returns. Trade alts with very close eye up BTC. Yeah, Elliot, if you are going to, that's basically what I would say. Just watch Bitcoin like a hawk, because if Bitcoin dumps, the alt's likely to dump. And that's why when I first started trading, I traded more alts, thinking that they'll give me more percentage returns. And you're 100% right. They will. But it also comes with a lot more risk, right? So it's kind of a trade-off. But yeah, that's basically why I would trade a lot more alts, just because I'm like, if Bitcoin's going to move 1%, and I know ETH's going to move like 3 or 4%, like, why would I not just trade the one with the bigger move? But again, sometimes ETH would look really good, and then Bitcoin would just dump, and then ETH would just follow it, right? So it's just kind of a give and take. It seems like it would be a lot trying to keep up with all the trades if you're in altcoins. Yeah, especially for me. Sometimes I'm in so many trades on so many different exchanges that I got to keep going back and forth. There's been times where I've forgotten I had a position open, and it was a great trade. And by the time I remember the position was open, like, oh my God, am I in a trade on KuCoin? And I would like go to KuCoin, and I would be like, oh no, that trade got liquidated because I didn't realize it was there. So yeah, just like you got to sometimes take a step back and like simplify things. It's especially when you first get into trading, it's like you get shiny object syndrome. You're trying every indicator, you're trying every strategy, which is nothing wrong with. And then like you're looking like, look at all these altcoins, and like you just kind of get like it's just like your eyes light up, which is cool. I mean, it means you're interested, right? But yeah, just be careful out there. Let's see, Papa BTC, shout out to Caesar BTC, the daddy, bro. BTC, that daddy, bro. Shout out to Ant Art, said I missed this channel. Sauce and more pasta. Shout out to Ant Arts. Well, we missed you as well, but we're happy to have you back. That's for dang sure. Let's go ahead and continue on here. Yeah, Donato Cabrera said, guys with big feet, they got big socks. I know. I got big feet. I got big socks too. Tiny gloves, though. Tiny gloves. I got little hands. Little mini. I wish I had little doll hands. Anyway, guys, watch it like a hawk. Shout out to Caesar. But, guys, with all that being said, or as some people like to say, with all that been said, let's see. Yes, yeah, Elias. Yeah, guys, before you start trading leverage, definitely master spot trading first. Leverage trading can be very, very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. If BTC holds where it's at, another higher low on the 4-hour could be massive. Yes. Man Bear Pig, shout out to you, bro. Yes, before I actually hop off, guys, let's check in on Bitcoin real quick and see what has happened throughout our altcoin TA. Nothing too crazy. Still kind of bing-bonging around. Again, 4-hour green dot is likely going to be the next move to the upside that we have. But again, because of that 4-hour money flow, I would be cautious of just putting in a lower high at these retracement levels and then continuing to the downside in the short term, right? In the short term. If we do wind up coming down a little bit more, again, it's not until the higher time frame money flow starts to come out where I start to think, hey, this is a longer term bearish move, right? We can come all the way down here, maybe bounce off that POC, and I'd still be looking for that higher low to continue higher. So longer term, still definitely leaning bullish, guys. Again, it's not until we start losing these lows all the way down here closer to 25.5 that I really start to think in the long term, like, hey, maybe the bear market rally is over. But that time is not here yet. We have plenty of room to come down for a healthy correction before, again, like Man Bear Pig said, putting in that higher low and continuing to the upside. And with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in and spending your precious time here with your boy Frankie Candles and the Candle Mafia just to chill and do 2 hours of TA as we do. I think we might be the only mafia that does that. But hey, we are the best mafia. Hopefully my uncle Mikey doesn't call me. He's not mad that I said that. But anyway, you know what it is. Anyway, oh no. Hang on. Dave, you're still in here, right? Yes, I see you, Dave. Do me a favor, Dave. Call the police on Tony Del Nevo. Tony D. What is that? Tony, that better not be available. That better not be available to everybody else. Oh, no. Dirk? Oh, D-Race. D-Race, you're right. You're right. I'm pumping iron. BTC can do what it wants. Shout out to Wick589, bro. Have fun at the gym. Tony D. No. Say, yo, what do you mean, Dave? Dave, can you call the police on Tony D? And he just goes, same crime. And just, oh, no. Am I going to have to pick up the phone and call the police myself? No. Oh, God. All right, let's take a really quick look at D-Race, guys. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God. Is this going to... Oh, this is going to be a thing, isn't it? Oh, God. Please. Okay, no one else has it. No one else has it. Okay. Tony, don't you dare. Your phone has been disconnected. No! Oh, sin it and spin it, baby. All right, let's just check out D-Race really quickly, guys. Sorry this took forever to get to. Whoever asked for it, I apologize. Yeah, I like it. I don't think anyone else has got it. I guess it's just Dave and Tony. Thank God. Tony D, you're that is a federal offense. Oh, no. This is a federal offense. Federal. Felony. Tony D, it's a felony. You made it bigger? How'd you make it bigger? Oh, no. Oh, my God. All right, well, shout out to B. Griffin. Oh, God, don't do that. Wait, oh, God, no. Hashtag want. Shout out to Zeus. Oh, God. Wait, they can't use those on other YouTube things, can they? Like, are they going to be able to spam my face in Ben's chat? Because I love when the candles pop up, but if my face starts popping up on Ben's stream, I'm going to lose my mind. Oh, God. We all want Frankie's face. Oh, God. No, please, for the love of God. Oh, no. Yeah, LWC, how did you make it bigger, guys? No, only on Frankie Candle's chat. Okay. Shout out to Tony D. Oh, my God. Please do someone contact the authorities on Tony. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, it's just the mods that have it? Oh, no, certain people have it. I think if you have a membership, you... Oh, God. Look at him cheesing. Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Look at him cheesing. RPM 87, you're fired. You're fired. All right. We say that all the time. There's so many embarrassing pictures of me just like ear to ear cheesing. I'm a happy dude. You know what I'm saying? But the pictures, some of those pictures, I'm just cheesing too hard. And like that's the joke, is like Frankie cheeses too hard. Shout out to RPM 87. You're fired. Get him out of here. I'm just kidding. We love you, bro. Oh, no, this is going to be a nightmare. All right, let's take a look at D-Race really quick, and then we'll spin the wheel, guys. Take a look at D-Race on the weekly. Nothing to take away. I'm gonna do this quick and dirty. Take a look at the daily. Looking for the red dot on the daily. It's been on a nice little tear here. Money flow crossover on the daily. However, you are a little bit overbought here. I would look for a potential cool-off, but I would be looking for that to be a cool-off in the short term. Looking for a potential bounce off these levels. Let me go ahead and pull some Fibonacci. Oh, no! Bro, I should swap it with the pick. Yo, Tony D. I think I gave Tony D too much control. Tony D has too much access to stuff. You know, you get to... I was in, like, a wonderful position that I'm, like, literally, I feel like anyone would love to be in the position to hire their best friend to work with them. But I think I trusted him too much. I gave him too much access. This is exactly what I wanted it to go down. This is exactly what I wanted. Shout out to Tony D. Hey, Ben and TJ, if you guys are watching this, can we fire Tony? This is wild. Shout out to Tony D. Kind of shout out to him, but also call the cops on him because that's oh God, man. Tony, you have permission to add the other picture of me cheesing like a 7-year-old. It's funny. Chart, thank you. Before I dug into that, thank you for pointing that out. Bubba's, I appreciate you. Bubba's, another unofficial mod. Absolute OG, that is for dang sure. But guys, D-Race on a nice little run here. A little bit overbought on the daily, but your money flow is crossing over into the green. If we can continue to have that money flow crossing over into the green, I will look for a potential cool-off because we're overbought. VWAP coming down, looking for the red dot. If we do get that, I'd look for a short-term pullback before putting in a higher low and continuing to the upside. Let me pull some golden pockets for you. Some levels I would be looking at. That's probably going to be in line. Yeah. Let me see something real quick. I'm going to mark this out as a range. These are the levels I would look for a higher low, potentially. Take a look at the 12-hour. Looking for red dot as well. Yeah, I think it cool off on D-Race a little bit. 8-hour red dot confirmed. Money flow. Fat. Thick in the green. Straight thick in the green. 2-hour thick in the green as well. I would be careful of this continuation to the upside. But on the daily, it does look like some of these higher time frames do want to cool off just a little bit. Yeah, 16 and 12. Yeah, 16-hour red dot. If you do cool off, guys, I would look for a move down to about 16 cents or, 0.1630. Oh, no. God, there's faces everywhere. I can't look. But, yeah, with these red dots on the higher time frames, I would look for a potential cool-off, but I would watch this white box, which is coming in between about 0.1632 and 0.1559. I'm not looking at chat. Oh, no, I just see skin tone. Oh, God. But this is the level that I would look for a potential pullback here. Let me pull one more Fibonacci. Yeah, that's what I'd be looking at, guys, right here. This big white box. If we do wind up coming down, that's kind of where I would expect a potential bounce. I would also, oh, God, I hate these scam winks. Yeah, take this one with a grain of salt just because I hate scam wicks so much. I would also watch here potentially between about 0.1720 and 0.1685. That's the levels that I would be looking at, guys. And that is D-Race. But with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and spin this dang wheel. I see the Frankie Candles face. Get that ugly mug out of my chat. Unbelievable. Frankie, should we pay any attention to the 30-minute blood diamond on BTC, or is it invalidated at this point? Crypto Cheeks, I'm going to pull up the wheel, but I will take a look at it as we... Oh, no, he got the... How'd you do that so fast, Tony? Okay. I didn't have to call the cops. I just have a button that I hit, and they'll just show up to his house. Mug City, shout out to Slugger Slug. Pull your fib. Oh, my God, guys, this is ridiculous. Tony D, guys, I got it. This is not a thing. This is, somebody call the cops on Tony D. This is too many Frankie faces. Way too many Frankie faces. Oh, my God, and he's got the other one. How'd you do that so fast, Tony? Like, you're crazy good at your job. But don't be that good at your job anymore. This is I draw the line here. Yo, you guys are nuts. Oh God, I love it. But I hate it so much. You gonna go viral? Shout out to Cesar Gonzalez. Oh, it's happening. Tanner A. Oh, it's happening. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Tony D. But really call the cops on him. But real quick, guys, let's go ahead and spin that wheel, and then I will check kind of while we're spinning that wheel. Check out the, yo, this is crazy, bro. Too many faces. Chat rate 38. Let's go. 386 people still hanging in there. Let's go. Give them a giveaway, baby. We got 500 and we'll spin it 10 times because we got over 600 likes. Taking a look at the Bitcoin Blood Diamond on the 30-minute. Come on. Trading is too slow for me. Let me see. Yes, I will say this. It doesn't mean it's guaranteed over, played out already. But this is potentially, not even really invalidated, but this may have played out already. It could be foreshadowing a move in the future. However, like as of right now, with the money flow coming up on the 30-minute, 24-minute, and even the 12 minutes probably close to crossing into the green, yeah. It's hard to say. It does look like it may have been exhausted, but like something like this, where you get a blood diamond, you keep creeping up, and then boom, they can foreshadow those bigger moves beforehand. So you want to be careful of that, but it could be invalidated. With the money flow coming up like that on the 12-minute, kind of the same thing happened here, to be honest. Could be a very similar situation. Very hard to say. But it could be. It potentially, like even here, right? You like, kind of played it out, and then you ripped. It could be. It's really hard to say. Oh, my God, there's so many faces. Mrs. Candle's hand. Oh, no. Oh, God. Okay. Shout out to Captain Kirk. Oh, my God, this is out of control. Golly, this chat is so cheesy. Look at all that cheese. Look at all the cheesy grins. Shout out to Wick589. Hey, I'd rather be cheesing than have possum stank fingers. I'll say that. Anyway, guys, let's get to spinning this wheel. We are so far behind at this point. Give him a giveaway, baby. Give it to him. Let's go. Shout out to the CandleMafia. And shout out to BingX, guys. Not going to lie. I just got to pull it up one more time. It's your boy. Hey, they took it down already. Unbelievable. I'm just kidding, guys. Oh, there he is. Look at him go. Oh, God. That's so cool. That's so cool. Let's see. So many faces. Oh, my God. Oh, learning putting me with the Pepe frog. I feel like I could be a meme. They call him Pepe. They call me. I don't know. I'm lost. Lol possum stank fanga. My new smile. Oh, God. Oh, God. It is funny. I forget who it was. I had someone DM me, and they were, like, taking screenshots of, like, other people in the Bit Squad. When we went to Miami, there were a bunch of Pub Chef guy. What is going on, bro? Welcome to the Wise Guys, and welcome to the Frankie Candles YouTube channel, where I show you how to make money trading crypto, whether the price is going up or down. Let's go. Thank you for getting that membership, brother. But I forget who sent it to me. Someone sent it to me on Discord. They were following along with Bitcoin Miami when we went to Bitcoin Miami, and they were taking, like, all the other Bit Squad members. I don't remember who it was. Maybe DZ or something. Or no, DZ wasn't there. But they were taking screenshots of other people's Instagram stories with me in the background and, like, circling my face. And they're just like, bro, you're always having a good time. Like everyone's like, Ben's live streaming, and I was, like, sitting on the couch, like, cry laughing. I don't know why. But it's funny because I don't always feel like that. But, like, when I look back at the pictures, he's like, dude, you're always smiling. I'm like, you're right. I am always smiling. Doesn't always feel like that. But we got two more spins on the wheel here. My how quick a face could get old. Shout out to Blockchain Bonehead. That was me, Frankie. Learning. Was it you? Let's go. Yeah. I appreciate whoever said that. Because, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I never thought I would be a happy person. But I was. I am now, which is crazy to think of. But anyway, let's go ahead and there we go. Give it to him, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10 giveaways. Hey, that's more than 50%. I'll take it. Let's go. Made it back for the giveaways. Let's go. Shout out to Hannah King. Hannah, don't mind that random emoji in chat. I don't know what it is. I don't like it. Shout out to Tyler in chat. What is going on, bro? I sent it to you on Discord. Yeah, you did. Let's go. Shout out to Learning. It was Learning. But yeah, I thank you for sending me that. Because sometimes, you know, I get stressed out, and I sometimes forget that I'm like happy sometimes. I don't know. But shout out to you, man. It is true. It's like every picture he sent, I was just like cracking up. I don't know why. I'm very blessed. We have a fun life. So, but yeah, it will never be played out. Shout out to Blockchain Bonehead. I have so many questions. Hannah King. Basically, Tony D is in jail now. I called the cops on him for doing this, which is basically an attack on my reputation. And, yeah, we're going to get him for defamation. He's been blocked out of the chat. He's not a mod anymore. We've already cleared out the office. DZ is now in my office, which is dope. But let's see. I think the Princess of the CandleMafia needs an emoji. Shout out to Hannah. Should it just be like, yeah, what should it be? Should it just be like a membership emoji? Shout out to Hannah King. Or should it be a crown or a tiara? A tiara. That's, yeah. Oh, I don't know. With a little HK on it? I don't know. I left for 2 hours. What happened? I don't know. Yeah, emoji's still here. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. But Tony, as you can see, Tony's been gone for a while. So, yeah, Tony's not gonna be back anytime soon, guys. I'm just kidding. With all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. We went way over tonight, but I don't care. I'm hanging out with my friends, Mom. Let me hang out with my friends. But guys, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Same place, same time. Don't forget, watch out for those short-term boosts to the upside. Keep an eye on that 4-hour money flow. If that money flow crosses over into the red, could get bad for Bitcoin. And with all that being said, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Shout out to my boy DZ. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong. Say, yeah, defamation, personal attacks, physical assault. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, yeah, I'm bruised up pretty bad. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's dangerous. Yeah, no, I would send I would send at least 10 officers for sure. Yep. Hmm. Sure. Yep. You got my number. Call me if you guys need me. Let me know if you get when you guys get them. All right. All right. Bye. Oh. Hey. Whoa. Okay. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Oh wait. Hang on. Tony D's calling me. Hang on. Oh no, he's gone. I missed it. Well, guys, that's the end of end of Tony D. There. Hopefully, that's the last offense he'll ever make. Yeah, unless he calls the cops on me. I don't know. But guys, show Tony the last love you'll ever show him in the chat. I don't know. Maybe spam the face emoji to make him happy. I don't know. I gotta go, guys. Someone's slamming on my door. All right, I gotta go, guys. Who is banging up? I gotta go. I'll see you guys later. Frankie Candles out. Pray for Tony. But maybe pray for me. Someone's really trying to get in my house. Hasta pasta. Bing bong.
Tyler Ramos.